This tutorial will show you how to change the IP address of your sign should the case arise. Generally the sign is set up with a default setting of 192.168.1.128 and for older signs it was set to 228. Anyway, if you go into the control section and browse down the options there, you will see an option which says modify IP address. Now what will happen is you'll be shown a list of your possible signs and their IP addresses that you have on your system. In most cases this will be just one sign and the IP address in this case is the default. So what I need to do now is just change it to whatever I've been given so that it matches with what is on your network. So the first thing I do is I change it to static IP address, and this will allow these boxes to be filled. And in this particular case, I'm going to install a IP address, or put in an IP address, which is 10.148.33, and I'll put in here an address of 55. And that's the address I've been given. And now my subnet, which I've also been given by my IT people, is 255.252, and 0. And make sure you enter that last 0. Gateway and DNS are not required. If you have them, you need to tick the little checkbox and then enter them accordingly. If you have the DNS, the same. Now, please double check that the IP address and the subnet mask are identical to what you have been given. Make sure you have the details of what you have put in before you press the send. Once you press the send, it will automatically update the sign with that new IP address. Which is what I'm doing now. Now this is going to fail for me because I don't have a sign attached, but in your case it will just come back to this particular screen. The main reason to double check the details is because once the IP address has gone to the sign, it will now look for the sign on that IP address, which makes sense. But if you happen to have put in the wrong IP address, it won't find it. And the only way to reset the IP address to something that is known is to go to the sign, open it up, and reset the sign. So that's why it's important that you double check the entries and that you also have it written down somewhere what you changed them to. So even if you make a mistake, as long as you know what you where the mistake was, it's easy for us to go in and enter in the a sign on enter in an IP address that's on the same range as the mistaken one and correct it. Alright, so that's basically it. I'm just going to cancel out of here, and yes, it says it's failed, and what would happen now is once I send it, that IP address would change. Now you can actually go in and double check that it is working on a new IP address. You can go into control, search for devices, and you say yes to that, and it will basically come up now and say found one device. Now at the moment mine's coming up saying found 0 devices because I don't have a sign attached. And that's basically it. Bye for now.